Hey everyone, welcome to Prosperous Life Finance, where I help you become a better trader and investor. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I made over $400 profit in less than a month using options. So before we get started, I just want to clear one thing up, and that is that I have been a trader and investor for a few years now. So one thing to know is that this is in no way a get rich quick scheme or nothing like that. I'm just going to show you guys how I personally approach options trading and what worked for me. And I'm just here to show you guys and help you guys reach your own personal investing goals. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I actually have a full video of options investing down in the description below, but just for this video, I'm just going to be showing you guys quickly what an option is in case you guys do not know. So simply, an option is just a contract, which as we can see here, it is a contract that gives the buyer the right but not the obligation to buy or sell the underlying asset at a specific price on or before a certain date. So when they say asset, that could mean anything, whether it's a stock, ETF, or anything else. So essentially, options are just derivatives because they derive their value from an underlying asset. So people use options for income, to speculate, or even to hedge risk. So now let's go ahead and go into the trades which I took. Now, while this is on Robinhood, you can actually trade options through other brokerage firms such as Fidelity Investments, TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, etc. But I'm just showing you guys my personal account, which I did use for these two options trades. So as you guys can see, I did trade the ticker symbol SCHX, which is the Charles Schwab US Large Cap ETF. So you guys can see I did fill this order on May the 5th for a total of $230. As I did buy the contract at $2.30, and as you guys know, one contract was worth 100 shares. So while the limit price was $2.30, I did pay a total of 100 shares for that, which is one total contract, which will be $230. So as you can see, I did buy this on May the 5th. So now let's go ahead and look at when I sold it and how much I made profit. So now as you can see, I did sell this option exactly 1 month later. And as you can see, I did sell this option for a price of $4.40, which was a total of $440, as one contract once again is worth 100 shares. I did buy this option contract for $230 and did sell it for a total of $440. And my total profit on this option was $210. So as you can see, I basically almost doubled my money with this options contract. Now the second option that we're going to be looking at is the ticker symbol TQQQ, and this is actually a leveraged ETF that goes long on the NASDAQ 100 index, which is mostly comprised of tech companies. So as we can see, I did buy this options contract for a total price of $249, and I did buy this on May the 11th. So now let's go ahead and see how much money I made less than a month later. So as you can see, less than a month later, on June 5th, I did sell this option contract for a total of $465. So as you guys can see, I did buy this contract for $250 and I did sell it for a total of $465, which is actually a profit of $215. So these are my two most recent contracts, and now I'm going to be showing you guys how I approached this and what my methodology was when actually buying these options contracts. So now let's actually go into a breakdown of buying options contracts. So in this channel, I actually specify in helping you and educating you guys for free on all sorts of different investments and my own personal tips. But once again, I am not a financial advisor. This is just solely for educational purposes. So the very first thing to actually know is that you have to educate yourself. Options is by no means a get rich quick scheme. When it comes to any sort of investment, not only do you have to seek a financial advisor, but you have to educate yourself enough to know what you are doing with your own hard-earned money. So before I did get started into options trading, I have been trading and investing for a few years. So I did have prior knowledge of markets and basic economics and just certain factors which do actually affect the overall stock market and the economy and your overall investment. So the number one thing I do recommend you guys first is to actually educate yourselves on options trading before you even touch options. And that is actually one of my goals with my YouTube channel, is to help you trade and invest and become an overall better investor. So here we're going to look at the 100 most popular stocks on the Robinhood platform. Now, before you do invest in anything, you actually have to know which company you are going to invest in. My own prior tips is that you invest in something which you do know about. Now, while there are multiple sectors in the stock market, such as energy, pharmaceuticals, technology, consumer staples, etc., I do highly recommend that you invest in something which you have lots of prior knowledge on or are educating yourself on, due to the fact that there are so many different things to actually invest when it comes to the stock market. So as you can see here, some of the most popular stocks are companies like Ford, GE, American Airlines, Disney, Delta, Carnival, Microsoft, Apple. Just so many different companies are available to trade stock and options from. So that was the first thing I did, was actually get into a sector which I do have lots of knowledge of. And actually, since I come from a software background, I did obviously go into the tech sector when trading these options. So that is the first thing, is know what market you're in and how you are going to approach this type of market with your own prior knowledge or current education on this sector. So once you know the market which you are going to be on, let's actually take a closer look at one specific company. So once again, since I am in the technology sector and I do have lots of knowledge about it, let's go ahead and go into Apple. So here we do have Apple. So one thing that I did before investing in any stock or option is actually perform fundamental analysis. Now, what is fundamental analysis? So essentially, fundamental analysis is a method of determining a stock's real or fair market value. Fundamental analysts search for stocks that are currently trading at prices that are higher or lower than their real value. So the fundamental analysis looks at the numbers and the in-depth details of the stock or underlying company which you are looking at. So since we are looking at Apple, one thing that I would do is actually look at the fundamentals. So a very great website which you can use is actually Yahoo Finance. So once we actually search up the stock, we do see all these different numbers and all these different information which we get about the company. So we get things such as the market cap, the PE ratio, the earnings per share, the dividend yield. We get so much information about this company. So going into greater details, we have to look at different things such as management, the income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow statement, etc. So these are all things which I personally looked at before I did go into my trade. So the reason for this is that this gives you a better insight into the company and their numbers. So one thing you want to know is how healthy and well the company is before you invest in them. So once again, fundamental analysis is something that I actually did conduct before investing in these ETFs and stocks. So the second thing I did is actually perform technical analysis. Now, as you can see here, technical analysis is a trading discipline which is used to evaluate investments and identify trading opportunities by analyzing statistical trends gathered from trading activity such as price movement and volume. And this does actually use lots of historical price movement and actually to give you a better sense of how these stocks are performing over time. So now let's go ahead and look at some technical analysis. So on the screen, you are looking at the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform, which is actually the trading platform which I use. So as you can see here, this platform is great to look at price action and data. Now, while this may look scary to the beginner investor or trader, I want to let you guys know that I actually have multiple tutorials on how to read these charts and how to actually interpret all of these indicators that you do see here. So what this does is give you a very great sense of the price action, which is at the end of the day what matters when it comes to investing. So the thing about price action is that not only does it help you with letting you know how the stock or ETF or whatever asset you are trading is doing over time, but it actually gives you a better insight to let you know if the stock or ETF or whatever asset you are trading is oversold, undersold, trading above average, trading below average, and does give you better ways to predict and actually assess your overall investment strategy. So once again, this is one thing I did, which is also technical analysis. So after you have conducted sufficient research and analysis, now I think you can go ahead and actually buy your option. So all you gotta do is just simply go to whatever brokerage firm which you are using and just look at the option sections. So here is where you actually buy and sell options. As you can see here, you choose an expiration date. So one thing, as you guys saw with my trades, is that I did have a longer expiration date. The thing about options is that they are contracts which do expire, and there are multiple things that go around options that you have to understand before you invest in them. Things you should look out for is something called the Greeks, which include things such as delta, gamma, and theta, which are essentially different things that affects an options contract and the price. And also another thing to look at are economic factors such as supply and demand and the market cycle which we're currently in, which does also affect your investment. So aside from actually knowing about options, you do have to have at least a basic understanding of how we are currently doing in the current economy. So this is essentially the way I approached options trading, and these are all things which I do cover on my channel in case you guys would like to have more knowledge on those type of subjects. So be sure to check that out. And lastly, choose a plan. Be sure to know when your entry and exit strategy is going to be. So whether you set yourself a target of a 20% profit, 50%, or even 100% profit, always know your plan, which is when to enter and when to exit an options trade. So I hope I was able to earn your like and you guys did enjoy this video. My whole purpose and goal for my channel is to simply help educate you guys in becoming a better trader and investor for free. I hope you guys can gain lots of valuable knowledge and I can help you in your own investment journey. I do wish you guys the very best of luck in your own investment journey, and I hope that I can help you along the way. Thank you all for watching. God bless you all, and I will see you guys in the next video.